Topic 23 is polar area. So let's take a look at a typical example. So remember, this is when, if you were using a SIG test, if you have a SIG test that's with calculator, there's a good chance you may have to draw this. And these are two of the curves you probably should know how to draw. You should know how to draw r equals a constant, r equals a cosine theta, a sine theta, or possibly even something like 4 cosine 2 theta or 4 sine 2 theta. Those are pretty much, and maybe also understanding kind of how a spiral like r equals theta would look like. Those are the primary ones you should be able to be ready for, as well as like theta equals in constant. That would just give you a line. So be ready for those kinds of graphs. But you do have a calculator, so you could just go over and sketch it. So the graph would look something like this. We want the area that's outside of r equals 2, so it's outside the red circle, but inside of 4 cosine 2 theta. That gives me these areas here. Okay, so you're not going to do the whole thing. You just want to do bits and pieces. So I like to start off at 0. And if I went over and I imagine drawing out my radiuses, going out to this curve, I'm hitting on the outside this curve. That's the outside piece. Then I need to subtract the inside piece, which was r equals 2. So remember the basic formulas. 1/2 the integral of r squared d theta. First thing I need to do is find the intersection. So that's where they're going to be equaling each other. And it should match the graph. So if you look at the graph, I can see this intersection point. That should be at pi over 6. But let's make sure. So we have 2 is equal to 4 cosine 2 theta. So cosine 2 theta equals 1/2. Cosine is equal to 1/2 at pi over 3. So if I divide by 2, I get pi over 6. So I did confirm what I suspected. So we're going to do, first of all, the area of 4 cosine 2 theta. So that'd be 1/2 the integral going from 0 to pi over 6 of r squared. So that's 4 cosine 2 theta squared. Then I need to subtract the circle area that's inside. So that'd be minus 1/2 the integral from 0 to pi over 6 of 2 squared. Well, I could put these together since they are in the same interval. We could put them as a single integral. And I have to take this answer, since this right here will just find the area in this region right here that I'm shading. That's only 1. I got to multiply it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So putting them together and multiplying by 8, we have this equation. And then you just got to punch it in your calculator. When you punch in your calculator correctly, you should get 15.306.